Hi everyone, welcome to Beginners 1.2. It's my second live video. The aim of these videos is to offer free full classes to beginners who want to learn the basics and the fundamentals. So I hope it's a beautiful day here anyway on the northern beaches. It's 9 o'clock in the morning and I'm really happy to have you join me today. So I plan to do these classes every Monday, Wednesday and Saturday at 9 a.m. and I did my first one last Wednesday. I was meant to do one on Saturday, but I had a few hiccups, but I'm hoping to just stay on track and just be here every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday at 9 a.m. So these are full classes, as I said, from start to finish. Last week's class was a 2-hour class because I was really trying to impart some basic knowledge on what is yoga and why we would do yoga. However, these classes will probably go for an hour and 15. So hopefully you've got your mat set up. If you've got a block, great, or two if you're really inflexible, or if you're a true beginner, 2 blocks would be great. If you don't have them, it doesn't matter. There's always a way to get around it. The number one priority I have is to keep you all safe. So if you have injuries or conditions, or if you're pregnant, you will have to PM me so that we can help you around those injuries and conditions. It's really important that you stay safe in your yoga practice. So we're going to start off today by sitting in a cross-leg position. So you're just going to pull one heel in front of the pubic bone and the other heel in line with that heel. You're going to pull the flesh back away from your sit bones so that you're really sitting more towards both the pubic bone and the sit bones. If you feel that this is really uncomfortable for you, you can put a block under a knee if your knee is sore, or if your hips, if it's too much for your hips. If you don't have a block, you can use a rolled up mat. You can actually roll it this way, long ways. It doesn't really matter if it's not perfect, it's a bit sticky like that. You can roll it this way, and you can simply pull it around like that so that it takes the pressure off your hips. Okay. The other thing you can do for this is you can actually sit, if you have an extra mat, you can roll it up and you can sit on the edge of the mat. So you don't want to be sitting right on top of it, you just want it to be lifting the fleshy part of your butt so that you're able to sit on those 4 points or 3 points, pubic bone and 2 tailbones. All right, so we're going to do some pre-meditative postures, and then we're going into a meditation, and then we're going to do some strengthening and opening postures. Okay. So if you've jumped on, I'm sorry that I'm not welcoming you, but if you can make a little bit of noise on this post and let me know that you're here, that would be great. If not, that's cool too, because this video will be up and you can watch it at a later date. Good, so pull one heel right in front of the pubic bone and the other heel in line with that heel. Pull the flesh back away from your sit bones, as I said, and just simply come high up on your fingertips and thumbs. Notice my hands are shoulder distance apart. Good. Nice, straight, strong arms. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Lift up in the pelvic floor. Get long through your spine, and then just exhale, walk your hands out in front. Breathing in. Good, and exhaling, just walking your hands out in front. Try and keep your shoulders down away from your ears. Feel your neck soft and long, and just look at the point between your hands. Inhaling. And exhaling, walking your hands out. Good, you're going to start to feel a stretch in your hips. Your spine is long. You may feel a stretch in the lower back or the backs of the hips, the inner legs. Slightly dropping your chin to your chest, not much, just a little to keep your neck in line with your spine. Just listening to the sound of Ujjayi Pranayama as you just take one more breath. Feeling the body expand, and on the exhale, your body just eases into the stretch. Good, walking your hands back towards you, sitting up nice and tall. Good, from here, just feel your inner wrists pressed to the inside of your knees. Your chest is going to pop, your shoulders are broad, collarbones broad. Breathe in deeply. Good, feel the pelvic floor lift, keep it lifted, and then just exhale, take your left hand behind your left hip, look to the left. Good, inhale. Good, and then exhale, just keep continuing to look over your left shoulder. Spinal twist. Breathe. You may feel a pull up either side of your spine. Sides of the rib cage, intercostal muscles will stretch. Sitting up as tall as you can, and keep exhaling, just gently looking over your left shoulder to the back wall or whatever it is that you're looking behind. Good. 2 more breaths. Good, and after your last exhale, just gently come back to the front. Good, high up on the fingertips and thumbs, pop the chest, broaden the collarbone, breathe in. And exhale, take your right hand behind your right hip and just look over your right shoulder. Breathe. Your arms are strong and straight, like guy ropes from the top of a tent. Powerful. Last breath. Good, and then just exhale, coming back to the front. Great, side lean, taking your left arm out to the left in line with your hip and shoulder, high up on the fingertips and thumbs. Breathe your right arm up in the air. See if you can lengthen through the inner elbow, and then exhale, draw your shoulder down away from your ear. Breathe in, reach through the right arm, walk the left hand out a little, creeping it forward, flatten the palm, and simply turn and look under your bicep up to the ceiling. Side lean. As you go deeper into this, you can bend your left elbow in towards your waist, down towards the floor. Keeping your shoulder rolled back. Feeling a beautiful stretch through the right side of the body, back of the right hip. Keep drawing your right shoulder down away from your ear. A couple more breaths. On your next inhale, simply use the inhale to come back up. Face the front, turn the palm out, exhale, lower the arm down. Good, you can flick that out if you want. Good, right arm out to the side, high up on the fingertips and thumbs, powerful arm. Breathe in, take your left arm forward and up, and then exhale, draw the shoulder down away from your ear. Breathe in, reach through that left arm, walk the fingers out, flatten the palm, and simply just turn your head and look under your bicep. As you breathe in your nose, you scrape the breath through the back of the throat, feeling the body expand. And on the exhale, you can lift and lengthen, allowing your body to move into that side lean. Bending that right elbow down towards the floor and in towards the waistline, keeping the shoulder rolled back. Using an inhale, breathe in, come back up. Turn the palm out, exhale, lower the arm down. Good, if you want to roll that out through the shoulders, you can. Great. Good, from here, just going to sit back on your tailbone and just straighten your legs out in front. Good, you might want to bounce them up and down a little bit. Point and flex the feet. Point and flex. Good, roll your ankles. Good, and then roll them in the other direction. Good, bounce your legs up and down a little. Good, we're going into a meditation. So come back to a cross-leg position. So I think I mentioned it in the first video. This is where if you're really tight in your hips, you want to sit on a block. If you don't, just like this. If you don't have a block, grab a pillow off the bed or off the couch, fold it in half. Good, and then just sit on top of that. So that's going to take the pressure off your hips. Good, if you don't want to sit cross-legged or if you have bad knees, you can put a block between your legs and you can kneel. So I'll just demonstrate that quickly. You can just simply kneel like this and put the block between your feet and sit on the block. Okay? So there's different variations that you can use. The most important part of moving into a meditation, of course, is that the body needs to be comfortable. If your body's not comfortable, you won't be able to transcend the mind. So hence the reason why we do the postures is so that we can have a strong, open, powerful body that's able to sit comfortably in meditation. Good, so we're doing the Ishta Diksha, which is alternate nostril breathing, then Kriya, breathing up and down the spine, transformational, and then we're going to moisten third eye point, Ajna Badana. Good, so in order to start with alternate nostril breathing, you're going to press the index and middle finger into the palm of your hand. If you need help with that, you can use your thumb just to press them in so that they know where they are. And then your thumb and your ring finger are going to bend at the first knuckle. And so that you can use those two fingers to pinch the bridge of your nose to alternate the breath. The reason why we do alternate nostril breathing is to balance the left and right sides of the brain. So every hour and a half or so, we're either in one brain, left brain, or right brain. So the idea of alternate nostril breathing is to go in and manipulate the brain so that we're in both brains at once when we transcend. So it's a very powerful technique. I've covered it off in the first video. So follow along as best you can. See if you can use your audio skills to tune in, because we're going to close our eyes. Good, so close your eyes. Well, actually, you can watch if you need to. I'm going to take a deep breath in. Your chest lifts, and then you're going to exhale. You're going to drop your chin towards your chest, stretching the brain stem. Breathe in again, about halfway. Hold the breath. Bring your right hand to the bridge of your nose and gently pinch the bridge of your nose. Lift your thumb and breathe out right nostril. Breathe in right nostril. Close block both your nostrils. And then lift your ring finger and exhale left nostril. Breathe in left side. Close block both your nostrils. And breathe out right side. Continue breathing in right side. Close block both nostrils, keeping your elbow close to the rib cage. Breathe out left nostril. Continue breathing in the same nostril you just breathed out of. Close block both nostrils. Breathe out right side. Breathe in right side. Close block. Continue on your own. So as you practice this technique, Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, you're balancing the left and right hemispheres of the brain. Balancing duality. Continue. Keep lifting the pelvic floor, feeling your spine long. Shoulders drop down away from your ears. Brain stem stretches as your chin drops to your chest. Finish the last breath on the left nostril, because we started on the right. Take your time. And when you're finished, allow your hand to float back down to the top of your knee. Your head will slowly float back up. Allowing now thumb and index fingers to gently touch together. Jnana Mudra. Sit here for a moment and acknowledge a centeredness, a balancing, an equilibrium that you've initiated through the hemispheres of your brain. See if you can just acknowledge that. Feeling very centered through the body. Taking your consciousness now down to the base of your spine, all the way down to the tailbone. And when you're ready, using a breath, an inhale, I'd like you to breathe in, drag your consciousness up the front of your spine to the middle of the brain. And then breathe out, take your consciousness down the back of your spine, back to the tailbone. Breathe in, drag your energy up the front of your spine to the middle of the brain. Breathe out, take your energy down the back of your spine, back to the tailbone. Breathe in up the front of your spine to the middle of the brain, to the sound hum. So your breath makes the sound. Exhale down the back of your spine, back to the tailbone, making the sound sa, sa. Breathe in up the front of your spine, hum. Breathe out down the back of your spine, sa. Hum, up the front of your spine. So just listen to the sound of your breath because it makes that sound. Breathe out down the back of your spine, sa. So essentially, you're dragging your energy, your consciousness around your spine from end to end. Around the crown of the head, back down, and around the tailbone. Continue a few more breaths. long as you have many thoughts, so if you have many thoughts, continue this Kriya technique, purifying the mind, purifying the thoughts. So continue the breathing up and down the spine. However, some of you will come to a point where you will feel an urge to just let go of the breath and move into a pause after an exhale. So if that's you, and you really feel like moving into a pause after an exhale and just allowing the breath to take its natural course, then go ahead. Bring your consciousness up into the middle of your brain. And as you allow your eyes to roll back into your skull, gently, softly, softening, you may see purple, color purple, or orange. It doesn't really matter whether you do or you don't. But you may see an orange ball of light right in the middle, a purple ball of light right in the middle of an orange mist of light. And you're just going to simply observe. It may seem as though it's pulsing like the iris of an eye as it contracts and expands. As you sit here, actually piercing third eye point by licking your finger, and just dab a little dab of saliva to the center of your forehead. Some of you won't need to do that if you have a strong sense of third eye point, but some of you will need to, especially if you're a beginner and you haven't meditated. As you feel that cool point on the center of your forehead, feel how it pierces third eye point. It pierces the middle of the brain. Allows you to focus your concentration at that point. And it pierces that it moves back about 2 or 3 inches, or 5 or 6 inches into the middle of, centimeters into the middle of your brain. Sit here for the next few minutes and use the mantra Hum Kushum. Repeat it over and over to yourself silently. I'm going to repeat it outwardly for you so that you can feel the resonance of the sound. Hum Kushum, Hum Kushum, Hum Kushum, Hum Kushum, Hum Kushum, Hum Kushum, Hum Kushum. We're going to sit quietly now for the next 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Keep sitting tall. Feel the pelvic floor lifting. From there you feel your spine long, extended. And you feel connected from the crown of your head to the universe. Plates of your skull soften. Your eyes are soft into your skull. Your jaw is relaxed. Your shoulders relax down away from your ears. And you sit for another minute or two. Bring yourself back out of your meditation. Simply bring your palms together in front of you into a prayer. Feel the heat and warmth between your hands. If you want to rub your hands together, you can. You don't have to, it's up to you. And then place the palms of your hands over your eyes and feel the energy, the heat and the warmth from your hands into your eyes and middle of the brain. Drag your hands down your cheeks, under your jaw, and cup your throat, one hand over the top of the other at Vishuddha chakra. Breathe in. Breathe out, drag your hands down to sternum bone, one hand pressing over the top of the other, Anahata chakra, unconditional love and compassion for yourself and for others. Breathe in. Breathe out, drag your hands down to the navel, Manipura chakra, pressing one hand over the other, feeling the energy from your hands into the mind. So it's the second brain, the belly, intuition, gut feeling. Breathe in. Breathe out, slide your hands down just above the pubic bone, Swadhisthana chakra, and drop your chin to your chest, stretching the brain stem. Swadhisthana chakra represents likes and dislikes, your individuality, sexual reproductive system. Breathe in. Breathe out, rub your legs with your hands. Cup your knees, feeling the energy, heat from your hands, the prana, into your knee joints. A lot of people have knee problems. See if you can generate that heat down into your knees. Good. Massage your calves with your thumbs all the way down through the ankles, Achilles. And then with your thumbs, massage the soles of your feet. Feels really nice. If you want to, you can press the palm of each hand into the sole of each foot. And just feel the energy grounding down into Muladhara chakra. So grounding your energy back down into the earth, feeling yourself grounded. Good. From here, stare at a point, begin to crack your eyes open, stare at a point on your mat in front of your foot. And then slowly lift your head. And as you do, you trace a line with your gaze across the floor to a point on the horizon. Staring through that point, and then using your vision, just begin to expand out peripherally and begin to take in the whole room and everything in it to bring yourself back. Good, well done. So hopefully you feel good from doing a very short little meditation, but with some great tools to help you sit and feel centered in your meditation. Good. From here, Just take your block or your cushion out from underneath you. Sit back on your tailbone and just begin to straighten your legs out in front. Good. Give them a rub. Bounce your legs up and down. If you've got pins and needles, it's very normal. Don't worry about it, but just see if you can get rid of it by rubbing. Point and flex. Point and flex your feet. Circle your ankles around and around in one direction. And then circle them back in the other direction. Good. A little bit more bouncing up and down. Great. So from here, we're going to come onto all fours into cat position. So placing your hands directly underneath your shoulders, placing your knees directly underneath your hips, curling your toes into the floor. We're going for cat pose. Using your breath, breathe in, turn the sit bones up, draw the spine into the body, open the chest, look forward. Good, and then point your toes, suck up in the belly, round your spine, chin to chest. Curling your toes into the floor, breathe in, open the chest. Really turning the sit bones up. And exhale, point your toes, suck up in the belly, chin to chest. Good, and again, curling your toes, inhaling. And pointing your toes, exhaling. Really press the floor away. 2 more, curling your toes, breathe in. And pointing your toes, pressing the fronts of your ankles into the floor, chin to chest. Good, last one, curling your toes, inhaling. And exhale, expel the air out. Curling your toes, inhale, cat. Or cow, or whatever you want to call it. Point your toes, exhale, sit back on your heels, arms straight out in front. Breathe in, come forward, curl your toes, inhale, cow. Exhale, point your toes, sit back on your heels, extended seal. Breathe in, coming forward, curling your toes. And exhale, push back on your heels. Shoulders broad. Last one, inhaling, coming forward, cow. And exhale, push back on your heels. Stay here for 3 breaths. Drawing the collarbone broad, outward spiraling your biceps, drawing your shoulder blades down your back, keeping your hands flat on the floor, fingers spread. Just stare at a point on the mat between your biceps. Breathe, expanding the breath into your body. Exhale, powerful extension. And lengthen. Breathe in, body expands. Breathe out, powerful extension and lengthen. On your next inhale, come forward, curl your toes into the floor, breathe in, cow. Lift your knees up off the floor, touch your belly to your thighs, and then exhale, begin to straighten your legs, getting a nice stretch in the backs of your legs. Drop down on your knees, breathe in, turn the sit bones up, dip the spine, open the chest, belly firm, lift your knees, belly to thighs, exhale, down dog. Drop down on your knees. Breathe in, cow, turn the sit bones up, open the chest. Lift your knees, belly to thighs, then exhale, down dog. Stay here for 3 breaths. Your feet are sit bone distance apart. And as you look at your feet, your heels are going to line up between the 2nd and 3rd toe. Your thighs lift up off your knees. Your sit bones turn upward. Your bottom ribs tuck down. Your shoulders broaden. And your biceps outward spiral down towards the floor.
Your arms are strong and straight, and you're looking past your legs through them, either the feet or you can look between your knees. Your head hangs, feeling a nice stretch in the back of your legs. One more breath. Lifting as much as you can, heels dropping, but also there's a lifting. So you don't want really your heels to touch the floor. You want a lift to happen through your legs. Last breath. Good. Drop down on your knees, point your toes, and sit up on your heels, resting the backs of your hands to the tops of your knees, spine long, shoulders broad, neck in line with your spine, belly firms gently, head floats. 2 breaths. Good. Come forward on your hands, curling your toes into the floor, getting your little toes to curl as well, and sit up on your heels. Good. So you might think this is a very simple posture, but this posture is probably one of the hardest when you're a beginner because our feet get very tight from wearing shoes and walking and not sitting on the floor. So the whole idea is the more you sit on the floor, the more your hips and ankles and feet will open. 2 breaths. Last breath. Come forward, point your toes, and sit back on your heels. Sitting up nice and tall. Great. From here, come forward on your hands, spreading your fingers, curling your toes into the mat. Good. Breathe in, turn the sit bones up, open the chest, look forward, lift your knees, belly to thighs. We're going into down dog. Couple of breaths. Right leg, breathe in, lift your right leg back and up behind you. Keep the foot flexed, hips square. Getting a deep stretch in the back of the left leg. Bend the knee in the air, touch the heel to the sit bone. Breathe in, lift the knee high, and exhale, step your foot up between your hands. If you can't, drop down on the left knee, grab hold of the ankle and bring the foot up between your hands. This is where you could use 2 blocks. If you have them, putting one under each hand as you lift the back knee up off the floor. If you don't have blocks, just go high up on the fingertips and thumbs. Look at the floor about half a foot out in front of your big toe, keeping the neck in line with the spine. Right foot is close to the right hand, and just breathe into this lunge. Your knee is directly over your heel. Your foot is evenly placed on the floor. So obviously your arms and hands are helping you here, but you want to try and keep your hips square, but you also don't want to rely on your hands so much. You want the leg to do the work. Good. From here, placing your hands on the floor, spread your fingers and just step back into down dog. 2 breaths. Left leg, breathe in, lift your left leg back and up behind you. Keep the foot dorsiflexed. Or you can push through the ball of your foot if you like. Getting a deep stretch in the back of the right leg now. Shoulders square, hips square. Bend the knee in the air, touch the heel towards the sit bone. Breathe in, lift the knee a little higher, and then exhale, step the foot between your hands. Once again, if you can't, drop down on the right knee, take hold of your ankle with your left hand, and lift your foot between your hands. Go high up on the fingertips and thumbs. Lifting now the right knee up off the mat. Left foot is close to the left hand. Your knee is near your bicep and sort of in line with your armpit. Lunge. You're looking about half a foot out in front of your big toe, right in the center. Puffing the back of the right leg up to the ceiling, powerful back leg. 3 more breaths. It's all about your breath. Your breath is your teacher. The breath allows you to expand and fill yourself up with prana, life force, feeding every cell in your body. And the exhale is the letting go of the toxins in the body, allowing your mind to quieten and allow your body to purify. Last breath. Exhale. From here, if you can, step your right foot up to your left foot. Big toes together, heels 1 inch apart. Either go high up on your fingertips and thumbs and lift your chest, or press off your shins and open your chest, look forward. Breathe out, bend your knees, hands flat to the floor, face to shins. Or you can take hold of the backs of your legs. Breathe in, lift your breastbone. Take your arms out like a cross. Lift your head, inhale, come up, palms together, look up. And breathe out, take your arms out and around and down, hands to prayer. Good. We're going to do 3 sun breaths. Stay here. Take a breath. And exhale. Breathe in, swing your arms down and around, powerful arms, palms together, shoulders down, look up. Breathe out, dive forward. Now bend those knees, hands flat to the floor, face to shins. Breathe in, go high up on the fingertips or press off your shins, look in front. Breathe out, hands flat to the floor, face to shins. Lift your head and chest, take your arms out like a cross. Inhale, come up, palms together, look up, shoulders down. Belly firms. Exhale, arms out and around and down, hands to prayer. 2 more. Breathe in, swing your arms down, around, and up together, powerful arms, look up. Breathe out, dive forward, bend those knees, hands flat to the floor, face to shins, forward bend. Breathe in, back bend, high up on the fingertips, look in front, try and get a dip in your spine. And exhale, hands flat to the floor, face to shins. Lift your head and chest, take your arms out like a cross. Inhale, come up, palms together, look up. And breathe out, take your arms out and around and down, hands to prayer. Good, last one. Inhale, look up. Breathe out, dive forward, hands flat to the floor, face to shins. Breathe in, high in the fingertips, look in front. And breathe out, let it go, face to shins. Lifting your head and chest, take your arms out like a cross, draw your shoulder blades down your back, ribs tucked down, belly firm, toes relaxed. Exhale, arms out and around and down, hands to prayer. Good. We're going into 3 sun salutations, beginner's version. Breathe in, swing your arms down and around and up together, look up. Breathe out, dive forward, bend your knees, hands flat to the floor, face to shins. Breathe in, high in the fingertips, look in front. Good, look in front on the mat, or in front of your mat, and step one leg back, the other leg back, plank pose. stay here for one breath. On the exhale, drop your knees into the mat, bend the elbows, and keep your elbows by your rib cage as you hold yourself off the floor a few inches. Come down, exhale. Point your toes, slide your hands back a few inches, and then breathe in into up dog pose. And then bend your knees into the floor, suck the belly in, curl your toes, down dog. 3 breaths. Thighs lift, sit bones turn up, bottom ribs tuck down. Shoulders relax. Bend your knees, look forward, breathe in deeply, look between your hands, and then exhale, step, walk, or jump if you want up between your hands, big toes together. Breathe in, high up on the fingertips, get a back bend. Exhale, forward bend. Lift your head and chest, take your arms out like a cross, scoop up, inhale, firm the belly, ribs down, palms together. Breathe out, arms out and around and down, hands to prayer. And again, inhale. Breathe out, forward bend. Breathe in, back bend. Hands flat on the floor, look in front of your mat, step one leg back, other leg back, plank. Try not to move your chest. Open it though, breathe in. Breathe out, drop your knees into the floor, bend your elbows, and hold yourself a few inches off the floor. Come down, exhale. Point your toes. Slide your hands back a few inches, spread the fingers. Breathe in, up dog, everything lifts. Powerful legs. Bend your knees, suck your belly in, curl your toes, down dog. 2 breaths. Bend your knees, look forward, inhale. Exhale, walk, step, or jump up between your hands, big toes together. Breathe in, high on the fingertips, lift the breastbone. And exhale, forward bend, face to shins. Lift your head and chest, take your arms out like a cross. Inhale, come all the way up, palms together, look up. And exhale, arms out and around and down, hands to prayer. Last one, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, it's a back bend. High up on the fingertips. Hands flat, look in front. Keep your chest where it is. Step the right leg back, left leg back. Inhale. Drop down on your knee, suck the belly in, keep the butt lifted, and hold yourself a few inches off the floor. Come down, exhale. Point your toes, slide your hands back. Breathe in, up dog. And bend your knees, curl your toes, down dog. 2 breaths. Drop down on your knees, curl your toes into the floor, keep your big toes together and sit up on your heels. Close your eyes, 2 breaths. Come forward on your hands, point your toes, sit back on your heels. Good. From here, we're going into some lunges. Come forward on your hands, spread your fingers, curl your toes. Breathe in, turn the sit bones up, open the chest, broaden the shoulders, look forward. Lift your knees, touch your belly to your thighs, and then exhale, begin to straighten your legs. Lift your right leg back and up behind you. Keep your hips square, shoulders square. You'll notice all the weight is in your right arm. Your left arm is doing nothing, but they look the same. Bend your knee, touch your heel to your sit bone. Inhale, lift the knee high. Bring your knee into your chest and step your foot up between your hands. Go high up on the fingertips and thumbs. Good, so some of you can stay here. Others of you can come right hand to knee, left hand to knee, and just supporting yourself here in this lunge. Good. From here, back off the lunge a little, bend the back knee, and then tuck the tailbone down, pull the belly in, and notice a deep stretch through the groin and the front of your left thigh. Keep that as best you can, hands to hips, and then bend the front knee. Good. With the next 2 breaths, begin to straighten the back leg. Doesn't matter if you don't straighten it, this is beginners. We're just getting a nice deep lunge. If you want, take your arms down by the side of your body, lift your breastbone, inhale, palms up together, and exhale, turn them down. Breathe in, palms up together, and exhale, turn them down. Pop the chest, last one, inhale, and exhale, hands to the floor. So we're just going to step back into down dog. 2 breaths. Using an inhale, lift your left leg straight back and up, closed 3-point pose. Bend the knee in the air, touch the heel towards the sit bone. Inhale, lift the knee high, and then bring your knee all the way into your chest. Step your left foot up between your hands, high up on the fingertips and thumbs. Relax your toes. Either stay here or left hand on your knee. This is also where you use 2 blocks if you've got them. And stay there or here, or you can come up left hand, right hand. Back off the lunge a little, bend the back knee, tuck the tailbone down, pull the belly in, and feel that stretch through the groin, through the quad, maybe. Hands to hips, and then bend the front knee back again, and then begin to straighten the back leg. Take your arms down by the side. If you did last time, inhale, palms up together. Exhale, turn them out and down. Breathe in, palms up together. Exhale, turn them out and down. Last one. Inhale. And exhale, hands flat to the floor. We're stepping back to down dog. Drop down on your knees and point your toes. Great. Take your knees as wide apart as you can, keeping the big toes touching together. Make sure your legs are even. Come high up on the fingertips and thumbs. Pop the chest, broaden the collarbone. Breathe in, stick your butt out a little. Firm the belly gently, lift the pelvic floor, and then exhale, walk your hands out a little. Keep pushing your butt back on your heels. Breathe in. And breathe out, walk your hands out in front a little, looking at the floor between your hands or between your forearms. Breathing in. Filling yourself up with prana, life force. Exhale, walking your hands out a little more. And now you may be looking at the floor between your biceps. Your neck is in line with your spine. You're pushing back just as much as you're reaching forward. Your quads are outward spiraling. Your arms are strong and straight. Your collarbone broad. Your bottom ribs tucking down. Breathe. If you want to flatten your hands, you can, but don't collapse the elbows. Lengthen in both directions. Outward spiraling your biceps. Good. From here, bend your right elbow, bend your left elbow, and drop your forehead to the back of your wrist. Relax the shoulders and just allow your body to open here more gently. Last breath. Good. From here, come onto your hands. Lift your butt off your heels. Bring one knee in. Bring the other knee in. Come forward a little. Curl all your toes into the sticky mat. Big toes touching, and sit back on your heels. Sit up on your heels. So you're sitting upright. Close your eyes and just tune in to where your spine is long and straight. Your neck is soft and long, your head floats. Good. Come forward on your hands. Good. And then just sit to the right. So you're sitting to the right, your feet are on the left. The top foot is crossing the arch of the bottom foot. Your toe is pointed, or your foot is pointed. Good, try and sit on both your sit bones. And if you find it difficult, which a lot of you will if you're beginners, hopefully most of you are probably beginners watching this, you want to just take up a rolled up mat or a cushion, and you just want to lift and let that sort of prop you up a little bit so that you're not falling over. Good, take your left arm out to the left, high up on the fingertips and thumbs. Roll your shoulder back, breathe in, take your right arm up in the air. Walk your palm out, flatten it down on the floor. We're going back into a side lean. Different variation this time with the legs, looking up past your bicep. Keeping your right inner elbow straight and strong, lengthening. Stretching the breath into your body. Exhale, lengthening into the side lean. Really getting, probably most of you will feel it in your right shoulder, because most people have tight shoulders. Back of the right hip and sides of the rib cage, like intercostal muscles will be tight for some of you too. Do the best you can. One more breath. Breathe in, come up to straight, look forward, turn the palm outward, exhale, lower your arm down. Good, roll your shoulders out a little. Good, you can keep the mat there if you want to. I don't need it, I'm going to pull it out. Taking your left foot now to the outside of your right knee. We did this in the first class I did last week. We're doing it again now. So your ankle is right next to your knee. Your knee is facing the front of the room. You're going to take your left hand behind your left hip, high up on the fingertips and thumbs. You're sort of going to lift your spine into your body. Breathe in, take your right arm up in the air, open the chest, and then flatten the back hand and take your elbow to the outside of your thigh and turn and look over your left shoulder. Spinal twist. So as you breathe in, feel the breath in between each vertebra or vertebrae. And on the exhale, just turn a little more. Draw your right shoulder back behind you. Try not to let that right shoulder crunch up. As you breathe in, feel your belly expand. It pushes on your thigh. And as you exhale, the belly pulls in. And you get some length and some leverage. Last breath. And exhale, come back to the front. Good. Taking hold of this ankle, just pull it back a tiny little bit, not much. Dorsiflex this foot, protecting this knee. Wrap your right elbow around your knee and hug it in towards your armpit. Holding the elbow with the left hand, sitting up as tall as you can. Sort of sitting also a little towards the pubic bone as best you can. Some of you will find that difficult. Good. Facing the front of the room, breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Those of you going a little further, take that front ankle and pull it back towards the hip, keeping the foot facing forward. Wrap the right elbow and hug. So you would just go a little bit deeper into this left sciatic nerve. So you're trying to keep seated on both sit bones. For some of you, that left sit bone is going to be lifting like this. The whole idea is that you want to ground down that left sit bone as best you can. It's not going to be easy, but eventually, if you practice, you'll be able to sit on both your sit bones. If you're going further, you would take this ankle, turn the foot sideways, and gently pull it back, lining your knees up one on top of the other. You would then lift and sit a little to the right, dorsiflex both your feet. So now we're working towards the full pose, which is quite a deep pose. It's not really a beginner's pose, but some of you will be able to. If you can't do this, stay where you were in the other variation. And then you can come high up on the fingertips and thumbs. Inhale. And exhale, walk your hands out in front. Listening to your breath move through your nose, scraping it down through the back of your throat, filling yourself up. And the exhale, feeling yourself long and lengthened, getting that deep stretch in that left hip and thigh at the sciatic nerve. Good, last breath. Good, walk your hands back towards you. Sit up tall and then sit back on your tailbone. Unwind your legs and bounce them out in front. Point and flex. Point and flex, circle your ankles around and around and in the other direction. Good. From here, swinging your feet to the right, top foot crossing the arch of the bottom foot, taking your rolled up mat underneath your left sit bone. if you need to. Taking your right arm out to the right in line with your hip and shoulder. Roll that shoulder back. Powerful arm. Breathe in, left arm up in the air. Walking your right hand out, flatten it down on the floor and turn and look under your bicep to probably where the wall meets the ceiling. Side lean. Your right elbow bends down towards the floor as the right shoulder rolls back. Right hand is connected to the mat, nice and flat. Fingers spread. Last breath. Breathe in, using the inhale to come back up, turn the palm out, and exhale, let the arm float back down, roll your shoulders out. Good. Taking your right foot to the outside of your left knee. If you're using this mat, you can leave it there, but just try and sit down on both your sit bones, which some of you just won't be able to. Okay, so don't worry if you can't. Dorsiflex this foot. You can actually dorsiflex that foot too if you want to, if you have bad knees. Otherwise, just keep it flat. Good. Take your right hand behind your right hip. Nice, powerful arm. And lift your spine into your body. Inhale, left arm up in the air. And then exhale, elbow to the outside of your thigh. Drop your palm flat on the floor behind you. And look over your right shoulder. I'd like you to notice where your breath is moving to in your body. As you inhale, the belly expands. It presses on the thigh. And on the exhale, you can move further into the twist. The belly contracts. Breathe in. And breathe out. Turn and look over your shoulder. Last breath. And exhale. After your exhale, slowly come back to the front. Great. So either keep your ankle where it is or maybe just pull it back just a tiny bit, keeping the foot facing forward. Still trying to sit on both your sit bones, and if you can't, don't worry. Wrapping your left elbow around the right knee and hold onto the elbow with the right hand. So the front knee, the bottom knee is dictating the front of the room, and you want to line your sternum bone up with your bottom knee as best you can. Breathe. You may be feeling tightness in the right groin. If you're going a little further, take hold of the ankle and pull it back towards your hip a little, and then wrap left elbow again. Hold onto the elbow so that you go just a little deeper into the pose. This is bull seat prep. Fabulous pose, one of the best poses. So most people develop sciatica when they stand all day and sit all day, like taxi drivers, people, obviously people are at home at the moment, but they'll be feeling, it takes a long time to unravel the body after you've worked in a job like that or standing all day long. Often people get sciatic nerve. This is one of the most beneficial postures for mainstream everyday people. Even if you don't do yoga, you should do this pose if you have sciatica. Good. If you're going further, then you simply turn the foot sideways, drop the top knee down on the bottom knee, pull the ankle back a little, and then sit a little to the left, dorsiflexing both the feet if you can. Knees line up. Excuse me. High up on the fingertips and thumbs. Hands shoulder distance apart. Inhale. And exhale, walk your hands out in front. Breathe in. Feeling a long spine. Exhale, feeling your spine even longer. This is quite a deep pose for some of us. Feeling a big stretch through this right glute area where the sciatic nerve runs through. Good. Walking your hands back towards you. Inhale, sit up tall. Good. Sit back on your tailbone. Wind your legs. Straighten your legs out in front and bounce them up and down. Good. Excellent. Great. Circle your ankles around and around, back in the other direction. Good. And keep bouncing and rubbing if you need to. Good. From here, we're going to keep the feet hip distance apart and flat on the mat, and your heels quite close to your sit bones. Good. And you're going to lay down on the floor. So get your heels in quite close. Feet parallel. Good. And then from here, simply inhale, lift your hips up in the air, clasp your hands underneath you, palms together. Good. Roll to the left and roll the right shoulder underneath you, and then roll to the right and roll the left shoulder underneath you, and then keep tucking your shoulders underneath you. Powerful legs, and then lift your hips as high as you can. Feet are firmly planted into the mat. Tailbone, your glutes are relaxed. There's two schools of thought here, but I'm going to teach glutes relaxed. It's the legs that are working, the powerful quads that are working, and the glutes let go. You'll notice that if you had a pinch in your lower back, that it will immediately soften. Keep lifting your hips. Slightly lift your chin away from your chest, not much, and just make sure that the back of your neck is not touching the mat. There should be a nice space there. Good. 2 more breaths. Good. Release your hands. Go high up on your tippy toes. Then just roll yourself down vertebra by vertebra to the floor. And just let your back settle heavily into the floor. Let it relax. Take a moment. Good. Take your feet mat distance apart. Good. Breathe in deeply, and then breathe out. Just let your legs, knees flop to the left. Breathe in, lift them up, and exhale, let them flop to the right. Breathe in, lift them up, and exhale, let them flop to the left. Good. Stay here. Full, complete breaths. Either eyes closed or staring at the ceiling. You're not looking at anything, you're just staring through it. Breathe in, lift your knees back up. Breathe out, let them flop to the right. Stay here. Shoulders down away from your ears. Good. Bring your knees back up. Good. Lift your chest, lengthen your spine, Relax it back down, hug your knees into your chest. So some of you will just hold each knee separately with each hand and just draw the backs of your shoulders into the floor. Pop the chest, broaden the collarbone. Others of you that are more open here, you can wrap your right elbow around your knee, left elbow around your knee. You can hold your wrist in between. Good. From here, release your knees, drop your left foot into the floor, cross your right ankle onto your left knee. Dorsiflex this foot, keeping your ankle in line with your knee. Reach your right arm through the gap, left arm around, lift your left foot off the floor, and if you can take the front of your knee, that would be great. If you can't, you can take the back of your thigh. Keep working your right knee away from your right shoulder as you bring your left knee towards your left shoulder. So right knee away from right shoulder, left knee towards left shoulder. Pop the chest, broaden the collarbone, breathe 2 more breaths. Good, and exhale. Lower your left foot into the floor, unwind. Good, left ankle crosses right knee, dorsiflex the foot, protect the knee. Left arm through the gap, right arm around. Either take the back of your leg, it's not preferable, but you might have to, or try and take the front of your right knee, chin. Breathe. Slightly drop your chin to your chest. Left knee is working away from left shoulder. Right knee is working towards right shoulder. Keep dorsiflexing your foot. Good, and exhale, release the knee, unwind the legs. Good. Good, from here you can lift your legs in the air, arms in the air, and you can just shake everything like a dying bug. Just shake it all out, nice and relaxed. Good. And then from here, we're going to go into deep relaxation. So I'd like you to grab your blanket and put it over you, but I'm just going to demonstrate those of you that have lower back pinching. You can take your feet mat distance apart and simply just knock your knees together in this. Good, if you want to. However, most of us, that's if you've got that's if laying flat on your back puts a pinch in your lower back only. So most of you are going to lay flat on the floor, taking your feet mat distance apart and taking your arms about 45 degrees away from your body. You're going to lift your butt, squeeze it together, relax it down. Lift your chest, tuck your shoulders underneath you, and relax them back down. Good. Hopefully you have your blanket and you can just put your blanket over you and then just readjust. Good. So closing your eyes and take a moment to visualize your body. Visualize if you feel the left side of the body, the left half of the body is in perfect symmetry with the right side of the body. And if it's not, change something about the way you're laying on the floor. Flex your feet, pull the toes back towards the kneecap, and then let them go. Your feet are falling out to the side. Drop your chin to your chest, then let it go. Good. Roll and drop your head heavily to one side. And then let your head roll on the back of your head and let it drop heavily to the other side. Roll and drop your head from side to side, letting it fall heavily each time. You can let that movement get faster and faster, or smaller and smaller, until finally you're balanced perfectly on the back of your head. Keeping your mouth closed, but keeping your tongue relaxed. Take your attention to your hands. Feel your fingers tingling, each one. Each finger tingles one by one. And now your hands tingle. Your toes tingle one by one. And now your whole foot and both feet are like puffy balls of energy, tingling, relaxing your hands, letting the fingers curl up towards the palms. And you forget now the shape of your hands and your feet. Feel where your body is touching the mat, feeling those points spreading out as they soften and sink you deeper into the earth. Feel the skin on your forehead spread in every direction. Feel the plates of your skull soften, the tunnels of your ears soften, your cheekbones soften, and your eyes sink deep into your skull. Your throat softens and relaxes. Your shoulders relax down away from your ears. Your hips relax down away from your shoulders. And your feet fall out and down away from your hips. Allow yourself to surrender now, fully and completely, as you forget your physical body. Drifting back, letting go, relaxing, surrender. Lay here for the next 5 minutes and let go. stay here for as long as you want because you're at home. However, to come back out of Yoga Nidra or deep relaxation, just simply rub your thumbs across each fingertip and wiggle your toes. Breathe a gentle breath into the belly. Feel the belly rise up. Feel the belly fall back down. Slowly begin to bend your knees into your chest and roll yourself over on whichever side you like. If you've got to go out driving the car, roll onto right side. Otherwise, if you want to go left, you can. And just roll into a really comfortable fetal position for one more minute. You can rest your head on your bicep if you need to, by lifting your arm up along the mat above you and using your bicep as a pillow. Enjoy this moment. Congratulate yourself that you calmed your sympathetic nervous system, quietened your mind, and you just feel good. Just feel good. Keeping your eyes closed if you can, it's just a personal challenge to see if you can. Press yourself back up to come sit on your mat. Moving slowly, come back into a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands together into a prayer, Anjali Mudra, and bow your head towards your hands. Taking this moment to acknowledge the union, the peace, the centeredness, the calmness that you've brought into your body, mind, and soul through your practice today. Shanti, peace to yourself. Shanti, peace to others. Shanti, peace to the universe. Hari Om Om Tat Sat. Good, thank you all for joining me today for Beginners 1.2. I hope you enjoyed it. It's my great pleasure to bring these basic classes to the general public for free. So if you enjoyed it, please mention it to someone or definitely hit the like button. Any questions that you have, pop them in the comments, and if they're too personal, I can PM you, or I can just put a comment about that particular question in the comments for everybody to read. So I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, or morning, or night, wherever you are in the world. Namaste, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Brooke Morrow, and it's my great pleasure to be here with you. Namaste.